20. Page 26. Please rise. Yitkana v'yitkada Shebeirach Ve'amad yivrach yutei v'yamlich malchutei B'chai echon uvyom echon Uv'chai echon Beit Yisrael Bagala, Bagala, Uvizman Kariv, V'inenu Amen. Yehi
like to invite up Emma Fadden and Hannah Pines for bottom of page 31 and 33. You can sit down.
This is an hour of change. Within it we stand uncertain on the border of light. Shall we draw back or cross over? Where shall our hearts turn? Shall we draw back, my brother, my sister, or cross over? This is an hour of change, and within it we stand quietly on the border of light. What lies before us? Shall we draw back, my brother, my sister, or cross over? Baruch atah Adonai Hamariv Aravim.
Wisdom and wonder, passion and instruction, story and symbol. All these things your Torah gives to us. And the more we devote ourselves to it, the more it grows and gives. What could be a truer token of your abiding love than this holiest of your works, in the living language that gives it form? Baruch atah Adonai Ohev Amo Yisrael.
And I invite you to rise, and I invite up Noah Zevin for the Shema and Ve'ahavta.
Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad, Baruch Shem Kivod Malchuto, Leolam Va'ed. ואהבת את אדוני אלוהיך בכל לבבך ובכל נפשך ובכל מאודך, והיו הדברים האלה אשר אנוכי מצווך היום.
We're now like to invite up Jake for page 41.
Sing the song of men and women joined with understanding and respect, the song of God's miracles, an earth protected and cherished, a gift for our children and the generations to come, the song of a land once ravished by war, now quiet and content, her soldiers home to leave no more, the song of a world redeemed, the song of peace.
Save us for the sake of your name. Shield us your creature, sorrow and pain. Hashkiveinu, Eloheinu Neshamot. Hashkiveinu,
Debbie Zweibach, Eli Eleazar Ben Abraham, Dave Ellis, Janine Gillette Hirschhorn, Charles Sherber, Anna Phillips, James Shore, Serena and Mike Brewer, Jane Leichter, Benjamin Ben Chaye, Gloria Byler, Moshe Aaron Ben Yeramayahu Eliezer, Dan Health, Angie H., Orit Bat Esther, Alisa Green, Robin Cohen, Caitlin B., Elizabeth Miller Lovejoy, Susan Musley, Jeff Eastman, and Jack Parker. Do any of their names to be said? Yes, sir.
Glenn Goldberg.
Thank you. Yes, ma'am.
Brian and Jackie Bufensky.
Yes, sir.
Cornelia Phillipson.
Thank you.
Jody Ashley.
What was that?
Jennifer Stevens.
Ms. Count?
Tony Ashley.
Are there any names? Are there any names on Zoom that would like to be put forward? Okay. Thank you. We'll all join Kara and Emma as they sing Shebeirach. Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.
I'm going to do my best to speak up with the microphone troubles we're having. First of all, thank you all for being here tonight. Hillel is always honored to be able to lead services with the temple once a month, and it's a great honor to be part of this community. Also, special thanks to all the people who helped prepare the ONEG following the service. You guys are the best, for sure. So, this week's Torah portion comes from Leviticus, and I'm not going to lie to y'all, it was not easy to get through. You ever notice how movies like The Prince of Egypt and The Ten Commandments always stop right before Leviticus starts? Even the critically acclaimed documentary History of the World, Part 1 by Mel Brooks, completely skips over this book. Rules and regulations for sacrifices, food, blood, and even perfume are laid out with graphic detail, to say the least. So it begs the question, why in the world did God tell Moses to explain all of these details to the whole population? I mean, after all, these are really just instructions for the priests. Why didn't God simply command Moses just to teach them how to do the rituals? Why bother, confuse, or even bore everybody else? One possibility is God's desire for transparency. To prove to the Jews that then, and even to us now, that Judaism is not a secret religion run by priests who know more truth than everyone else. It's instead open and accessible. All you have to do is pay attention and learn in order to fully know what being a Jew is all about, whether you're a high priest or a high country local. So this parsha, with all its explicit detail, reminds us what we already learned in Exodus, that we are a kingdom of priests and a holy nation. Our tradition is not locked away in secret vaults, closed books, and locked doors. It's an open and transparent one. If only that were the case in the rest of our lives and institutions. Okay, so that explains why we're reading this parsha. But what about the content? What about all the animal sacrifices and the bodily effects? Why did we do that then, and why don't we do it now? So, first of all, sacrifice was not a uniquely Jewish custom at the time. Other cultures and religions brought animals, grains, oils, and other gifts to feed their gods, which were represented by statues of deities. In contrast, we learn in the Torah that animal and grain sacrifices were brought by Israelites to create a link between the one God, God's people, and the world. Now, apparently, the word sacrifice is a roughly translated version of the Hebrew word korban, which means to draw near or draw close. Unlike the English translation, sacrifice, which suggests losing something in the act of an offering, a korban instead enabled the Israelites to draw near to God through a gift or offering. And not just any offering either. Israelites were commanded to bring the best of the best from their flocks, herds, and pantries. Their offerings were personally selected and carefully considered, and each one represented thanksgiving, forgiveness, and atonement from sin. Ultimately, in 70 CE, the temple in Jerusalem, the centerpiece of Jewish sacrifice, was destroyed by Roman legions, and the role of prayer in synagogues, which was already unfolding, rapidly and thankfully took its place. But maybe today there's more than just the sacrificial practice that's been lost forever. In each person's choice of an animal for an offering, there is an intimate concern to bring something perfect and pleasing to God. Not to mention the physically demanding process of schlepping an animal all the way to the temple and the high priest. It's obvious that the duty to pray is not felt as heavily in our hearts as it once did in their hands. Prayers today lack physicality. We've traded the burden of our hands for the duty of the heart, which is now conveyed through prayer. Ideally, this would suggest it's because we're more advanced, that our prayers before God are more intellectual and more spiritual, and that they are offered with intentionality, purpose, and thankfulness. Ideally. Now look, I'm not saying we should rush back home and pick which of our favorite possessions to bring back to the temple and light up on the beam. But you have to acknowledge the sanctity and significance that the Israelites practiced is a difficult sentiment to replace with prayers alone. Because of this, it's important for us to carefully consider offerings, our prayers, and readings with the similar sanctity, intent, and intimacy that the Israelites channeled in order to come closer to God. Now, aside from prayer, we are also commanded to replicate the Israelites' intentions through another type of offering, translating our appreciation and gratitude into actions for others, good deeds, mitzvahs. We believe that God works in and through us to make this world a better place. We should then, through our individual and communal action, serve as God's partners in helping to improve the world in our communities. And luckily, our temple is already doing that, whether it be through the Western Youth Network, Hospitality House, or accommodating for these poor, hungry Hillel students. Our congregation actively and regularly participates in serving our community. So I challenge all of us to continue to take these daily opportunities to express our gratitude by working towards the ongoing well-being of our world and the people within it through public service. Through this, we can each make an offering of ourselves, which personally sounds a heck of a lot better than killing sheep. Shabbat shalom. I think we now invite a temple board member up to give announcements.
That was great. You know, it's a delight seeing you all here. And on Zoom. Every seventh day, we're called to step out of the world as it is and imagine the world as it could be. To stand on the margins of society, rather deep within it, and see with a new perspective what's broken, what's beautiful, and what is possible. And it's a reminder that each of us is surrounded by blessings, hidden and revealed. Shabbat is a reminder to slow down and recognize and celebrate the abundance, and celebrate and recognize our blessings. One of our many blessings here at Temple of the High Country is to have these wonderful people. Hillel. Thank you. Thank you so much. So it is time for announcements, and I'm going to do it, but I'm not a member of the board. I'm a de facto member of the board.
Behind your mic.
Behind my binder? I got it. Here we go. Brian Newmark will become a bar mitzvah tomorrow at 10:30 a.m. in our sanctuary. We are overjoyed, and our congregation is invited to attend here in person and on Zoom. Passover is 2 weeks from yesterday. Wow. We're going to be hosting a buffet Seder with live music on the second night of Passover, Thursday, April 6th, starting at 5:30 p.m. Please arrive by 5 o'clock. Printed Passover Seder forms are in the lobby and with Eleanor Lieberman. Please pick one up if you plan on attending. Seder forms can also be found in your emails. Many thanks to Deborah Aaron for sponsoring tonight's Oneg in memory of her mother, Joan Aaron, whose yahrzeit is this week. And great appreciation goes out to Elizabeth Weinreb, Gail Ruthfield, Joan Brooke, and Holly McLaughlin for shopping and preparing tonight's Oneg supper. Take it away.
We would like to invite Ben Goldman to read the Elaine. Please rise.
Aleinu l'shabeach Adonai Lateiku ha'yetzer Bereshit Shemo Samkei Matzah Velo Samanu K'Torah Adama Shelo Samkeinu Gahem V'gor Aleinu G'chol Ha'olam Amen.
may be seated. We take a moment to pay respects. Our loved ones who have passed on, but still live on in our hearts. Kaddish is being said for Nicholas Gentile, Trudy Applebaum, Sarah Allison Gerb, Dominic Testani, Howie Kleinberg, Phyllis Lieberman, Dr. Erwin Kirby Kirschenbaum, Israel Ben Heschel, Hank Ripp, and Paul Ruthfield, Pinchas Ben Chava Mendel. We remember the yahrzeits of Marshall Doctoroff, Joan Aaron, Bunny Adler, Howard Weisselberg, and Bernard Rosenthal. I invite those who are in mourning or observing the yahrzeit to join me to please recite the Mourner's Kaddish. It can be found on page 294 of your blue prayer books. We may begin together. Yitgadal v'yitgadash shemei Rabba, v'yamad divrah v'rutei, v'yamlit malchutei, v'chayachon v'yomechon, v'chayei lechol Beit Yisrael, b'galav v'zman karib v'yimru amen. Yehei shemei Rabba v'varach le'olam u'l'yomei maya. Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitparar v'yiturmam v'yitaseh v'yitadar v'yitaleh v'yitalal shemei v'yusha v'yikru le'elam min kol berchata v'shirata tushbachata v'nechemata damiram be'ama v'yimru amen. Yehei shlama rabba min shmaya V'chayim aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'yimru amen. V'oseh shalom yiramav v'yaseh shalom aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'yimru amen. May the memories be a blessing, and may they all rest in eternal peace.
Shalom.